They gave me 7 days. If I don't return, my visa was going to be cancelled. So I had no choice than to go back. I want to talk about my 2023 recap. One of my mentors said something. She said, if you don't take inventory of your life, if you don't pay attention to getting pruned, you will become a joke. And sadly, the jokes are on you. End of the year, I do my own personal retreat where I look at 7 different areas that I needed to touch. If you want me to talk about that, I'm going to make another video about the 7 areas you must always touch at the end of every year. My 2023, to a lot of persons, it looked glamorous, but to me and my family, like those very close to me, knew that it was not funny. It was not funny at all. The beginning of 2020, I disappeared was from social media December last year, and I appeared, around February for the election. And then after the election, I disappeared and came back around July or so when I graduated from school. And when I came back, I put on, a couple of very beautiful pictures, my graduation pictures and all of that. And people were like, oh, congrats, people were thinking that this girl got it all flowing and going. I made a decision a couple of years ago, not a couple of years, I think about 3 years ago, that no one is going to see what I go through on social media. I'm not going to wear my emotions on my sleeve. Do you know that YouTube reported you to me? I'm not even kidding. For real. Yes, you watching me. YouTube said that you're not subscribed to this channel. Now prove me wrong by checking if that subscribe button said subscribed or it is still at subscribe. Also check and see. Just click there and see if you clicked on the like button. Did you even share this? And you have been watching me for a long time, but I've never seen you comment in the comment section. I don't think that's fair. Even you myself know that. It's not fair. When you like, subscribe, comment, and share my content, YouTube thinks that you found value in that thing you watch and is able to share it to the larger audience. So share this content and let other people be a part. Thank you. Ever since I clocked 20, I have always wanted to consciously take inventory of my life. Even though I didn't really take it serious at that point, I was just 20 and I really didn't have that guide. You get what I'm saying? But I have always wanted to live a purposeful life. I really want to look at maybe 10 years from now, look at videos I made 10 years ago and be like, girl, I understand where you are at that point, and where you are, it was actually where you were supposed to be. I don't want to get 5 years from now after making this particular video to come back to it and be like, the girl in 5 years, that's today, is not supposed to be here doing this kind of video, both in the way she carries herself, in the way she thinks, in her mindset and all of that. So I have always wanted to, at the end of the day, when I finally leave, even before I leave this world, right, I want to have less regrets. And that is why I'm doing this video. In today's particular video, this is the end of the year, and I want to say Happy Christmas to everyone who I didn't wish Christmas, because on Christmas Day, I was just feeling somehow. I lay down on the bed all through. I was not just in that mood. I was home alone. It was something else. So happy Merry Christmas. It was the celebration of Jesus, the birth of Jesus Christ, and I hope you kept it at that. And then Happy New Year for you who will see this video, in New Year. So I want to talk about my 2023 recap. One of my mentors said something. She said, if you don't take inventory of your life, if you don't pay attention to getting pruned, you will become a joke. And sadly, the jokes are on you. People are expecting you to fail, right? People are expecting you to amount to something good. And then at the end of the day, you allow them succeed with that. Who is the jokes going to be on? You, literally. My 2023, to a lot of persons, it looked glamorous, but to me and my family, those very close to me, knew that it was not funny. It was not funny at all. The beginning of 2020, I disappeared was from social media December last year, and I appeared, around February for the election. And then after the election, I disappeared and came back around July or so when I graduated from school. And when I came back, I put on, a couple of very beautiful pictures, my graduation pictures and all of that. And people were like, oh, congrats. People were thinking that this girl got it all flowing and going. I made a decision a couple of years ago, not a couple of years, I think about 3 years ago, that no one is going to see what I go through on social media. I'm not going to wear my emotions on my sleeve. Subscribe. Have you subscribed? Have you hit the subscribe button? Okay, so no one is going to Who is doing that in the background? Hey, Chineke me. I hope you don't hear it anyways. God has blessed me with, masterminds, a sister, not biological, that I can pour my heart to, and she does the same. I can find solace and consolation in her bosom. I have my husband. I have a couple of very few friends and circles. I don't need to come to social media and tell the world, oh, I'm going through stuff. Okay, so the early beginning of this year, December last year, my husband and I fell sick, critically sick. He recovered faster before me, so let's say I recovered around January, and from January to around April, I have been in and out of the hospital from December to around April, May, June, even June. Before I graduated, I was so sick. I was terribly sick. A lot of you know that I don't do well in winter, and winter comes with a lot of bad things. So I was terribly sick. A whole lot of list of sicknesses that I'm not even going to mention here. My prayer life, my spiritual life was really affected. My work with God was really affected. Thank God for people who pray for me. I thank God for the cycle I have that I can talk to, about whatever I'm going through. And so it was not really funny. And apart from that, 2023 showed me personally a lot of shaggy banzard. Yeah, I personally experienced a couple of failures. I experienced betrayals, heartbreaks. There are people that I know I would go head over heels for, during their trying times that, I was hoping would do same for me when I was going through my own trying times. But, all they could offer was not much, below what I expected. Though I had sorted that aspect of my life out, but I didn't know that, the more you grow, the more you keep sorting things out, right? So that helped me gain better clarity about how to go about, dealing with people. I finally graduated. I threw up a couple of pictures on social media, but I didn't collect my certificates. That was why I didn't end up putting up my graduation video, which I had filmed. I'm going to do that. I didn't collect my certificate because the last final semester, I was sick. Even on exam day, it was only God that helped me. I wrote the exam, I didn't pass them. I could not study, I couldn't do nothing, and my school was not really understanding. So I wrote the exams anyways. I didn't pass it, and that was why I now had to come back for a full semester just to rewrite those couple of exams, which I finished writing let me say a week plus now ago. Results came out and I smashed everything. And then another thing we experienced, which was no, I wouldn't call it was a challenge. My husband and I, embarked on a journey. If you must have seen the vlog that I went up about we opening a restaurant, starting a business, a company in China. We had no clue that we were going to go through that. Like the magnitude or the magnitude of what we faced, we never knew we were going to like go through that. But that was when I understood the meaning of some of these verses we study in the Bible. The Bible says in Psalm 23, I think that should be around verse 6 or 4. I can't remember. I said, when I go through the valley of the shadow of death, I will not be afraid because you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And then when you bring me out of that shadow of the valley of death, right? You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. When you come out of that valley, you will start facing one particular goodness to another one. But you have to go through that valley first. We went through that valley and it was not funny at all. We embarked on a journey. We, set out, a couple of some amount of money to run this whole thing. And before we could say jack, everything went off. So it's a whole long story. When we're ready, I'm going to make a full video concerning that journey, that project. It was not funny in any way, but you wouldn't see us, wear our emotions on our sleeves. And a couple of people I tried to reach out to, people I didn't expect anything from, were the ones that came up. People I really had much expectations from were the ones that disappointed me. Was I really hurt at that point? Because I've grown, I have matured to a point where I always try to see these two sides of a situation before I judge. What I did was that I understood, everyone has priorities. If you're someone's priority, even if they don't have, they would put in that effort to like at least go head over heels for you, at least try, and not just giving you cold feet. You get what I'm saying? So that came and passed. Finally, we came out of the valley of the shadow of death. God is so beautiful. We started our company in China December 3rd, 2023, and it has been great. God is good. Which is why when God asked Abraham to follow him to a land, He never told Abraham what he was going to encounter on the road, because if he knew, Abraham would have been like, okay, even if Abraham decided to follow God, Abraham would be like, guy, let me prepare first, and that preparation will cause procrastination, and that may take about 2, 3, 4, 5 years before Abraham finally makes up his mind to follow God, and those years had passed already. So, which is why I believe most of the time God doesn't give you the whole blueprint. He doesn't tell you the whole thing. He just wants you to blindly follow Him. Do you trust God? Then follow Him. So that was what we did, and God took us through. So we have lots of failures. I'm not going to go into some businesses we ran in Nigeria that still went down the drain again. We experienced a number of failures, and then we experienced breakthrough. So when I went back to my school, you may not understand the condition about my school, which I'm definitely going to make a full video about it as well. So I went back to school. It was hard in my school. You're not allowed to cook. When I was told I was definitely going to come back to spend another one full semester in school, I cried, I crewed, and I crowed. Then I went on a personal retreat to God. Father, the Bible says that you're going to twist the hand. The heart of the king is in the palm of the Lord. You're going to twist it the way you want. Father, twist the heart of my school. Father did not twist anything. I cried. I really cried. Then I painfully packed my things. That was a week after my husband just came back from Nigeria. He went out. He traveled for over a month, and I didn't see him. He just came back. Even in less than 1 week, the school called me to return. They gave me 7 days. If I don't return, my visa was going to be cancelled. So I had no choice than to go back. The weather there is extreme. It is dangerous. No, I can't do that anymore. So I had to go back, and that curse or that pain became a blessing for me, because when I went back, that was the moment God really I thought I knew about solitude. I really thought I understand. I know the difference between isolation and solitude, loneliness and being alone. But sometimes you have to experience these things to being able to differentiate them. So I've experienced what it means to isolate yourself. Isolation, I've isolated myself a couple of times, a lot of times, from people, from things, from life in the past. And now when I was given this opportunity to go back to school, I went back to school, and instead of isolation, it became solitude. So that was a season where I was able to fix my walk with God. That was a season where I was able to, God gave me the divine blueprint and idea to build a life planner for the print-demand. That was where I was able to design this life planner for the print-demand. That was where I was able to I attended classes daily. I spent virtually all my weeks there, or my months there at the library. I did everything I was supposed to. I put in the work. At the end of the day, God showed me mercy. So me traveling, though it appeared to be a curse, but God turned it to be for something good. That thing this guy sang, this brother, I've forgotten his name. What is his name again? He said, "What the enemy meant for evil, God has turned it around for my good." And that was exactly what happened to me. So while I was going down, there's something God told me one day. When a tap has not been open for a long time, or when you're trying to build a tap, what am I missing? When you're trying to, when you want you don't make, I speak broken small, when you don't build tap, right, and the first water that will come out of that tap when you finally open it will not be good water. And sometimes when let me use a drainage for example. When a drainage has been blocked for a long time, you get what I'm saying? Maybe a path where a good clean water is supposed to pass, but it can't pass because something has blocked it for a long time. If you want to open it up again, the water that is going to be out there will come out in force. There's going to be pressure because it has been stored for a long time. That's number one. Number two, that there's likelihood that the water will be very dirty. It can be discouraging, right? But you wouldn't know that at the end of it all, you'll be having very clean water rushing, and that tap will be open forever and ever. So that was what God was trying to let me understand, that the season we were in, when we thought, at the point when I thought, things were going to become better, things rather went worse, became worse. With my health, with my marriage, with my business, with everything, with my academics, with my plans, my goals, my every single thing. When I pray and I feel like, okay, things are going to start getting better, and I feel it in my spirit, the next thing is that bad things will come out. So along the line, God made me understand that those things purging out, the surging out rather, those dirty waters, those old things had to go. They had to make way for that clean water that would come. And at the end of the year, I saw God pouring in a lot of clean water. So I'm grateful for 2023. I learned a couple of lessons. I just hope you also learned a couple of things. This particular video was not scripted. I didn't know how to like script it. I just wanted to pour out my heart out there to you all. So take time to take inventory of your life. At least be able to record every year, and then in 5 years you'll be able to like go back to these past years and be like, okay, this was what I was able to do with my life. So I hope this helps you. I hope this encourages you. Let me know if you still want me to make that particular video on the 7 areas you need to like, 7 things you need to do, or 7 areas you need to, personally retreat during the before another year begins. And I'm going to make that particular video. So I hope this helps. I hope you've learned something. Prepare for 2024. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and I'll see you in my next video. Expect a lot of videos in 2024. Love you.